So I did get to watch They Cloned Tyrone on Netflix. It's a genre-bending homage to the Blaxploitation films of the 1970s, featuring elements of satire, mystery, horror, science fiction, and absurdist humor. Um, I think this is the director or screenwriter cited They Live, great movie that I used to pregame to right after college with Rowdy Piper. Groundhog Day, It Follows, and Napoleon Dynamite as influences on the film. Napoleon Dynamite is interesting because I did not get that sense at all. Anyway, the cast features John Boyega as Fontaine, the drug dealer. I don't know why I didn't recognize John. I know that guy. It's just like I did not put two and two together and think that's John Boyega. And I guess that's a testament to his performance and how different he is. You know, I only know him from the third Star Wars trilogy, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. So he was not that that clone trooper in this movie. He was a full-on drug dealer and gave a fantastic performance, as did Jamie Foxx as Slick Charles, the pimp. Teyonah Parris plays Yo-Yo, who's, I guess I should say, sex worker. I'm not allowed to say prostitute or hoe, even though they say hoe all the time in the movie. And then there are some appearances by Kiefer Sutherland and David Alan Grier. Good to see David Alan Grier. I want him in all the movies. He's just so great. Ever since In Living Color, I've loved him. He's just so good. Yeah, so they mentioned this a lot in like the press and in the synopsis and the whatever, that's retro futuristic setting of the Glen, right? There's like a filter they put on the movie that makes it look like old school film. They even have the little in the top right, the burn mark that you would see when it changes from scene to scene. So it's very like I would say this was a mixture of Sorry to Bother You, which I liked a lot, with Lakeith Stanfield and I think Tessa Thompson and the cannibal, allegedly, Armie Hammer. And also the dude from Beef, and also that guy, the small guy, Jermaine, no, Dupre, no, that's not it. So it had that kind of aesthetic, that kind of style, which I dug a lot, but it was not like, it looked like it was set in the 70s, but it was not set in the 70s. And there was modern day technology that you saw throughout the movie. But so the John Boyega plays Fontaine, the drug dealer who lost his brother to a shooting. A cop shot him by mistake, quote unquote. And he has a mother that he lives with that we never see. It's just behind a closed door, and he talks to her through the door, like for most of those scenes. So we never see her. So he goes to collect money from, first of all, he runs over a rival drug dealer in a car with this little kid in the passenger seat that looks an awful lot like his little brother. And then he just full on like doesn't expect retribution. Like, I feel like that's where, you know, it's like, all right, I just ran over this dude. Like, he's just not going to, no revenge. Revenge is off the table. He doesn't have the balls. So he goes to collect money from Slick Charles, who owes him money. He was played by Jamie Foxx. He busts in, looks through all his stuff, and then is able to find some money, and he leaves. And as he's in the car, as he's trying to back up, there's another car blocking him from backing up. So he gets out the car and he gets shot. And so the car peels off. So then you see him. It's and that's where you see the Groundhog Day kind of effect kick in, where like he like he's struggling to breathe in the car, and it looks like he's like, you know, like about to pass. Who is yelling outside? There's about to be a fucking shooting outside my apartment. Cool. So, and then he like, you see he cut to him waking up in his apartment, and like sitting up and be like, and a deep gasp, and you're like, okay, cool. Groundhog Day situation. He's gonna repeat the same day. And so you're kind of thinking that's what's happening here, because he goes and does what he does. He does the same thing he did the day before, the same routine, where he goes to the liquor store, picks up a 40 and some cigarellos. And then he goes outside and pours a little bit of the 40. And there's an old man sitting on the side with a styrofoam cup. And he pours a little something in there for him, and plays a scratcher. and says you lose. So he's doing the same thing. So you're like, oh, he's just repeating the same day. I mean, the title of the movie kind of gives it away. But so he goes to collect money from Slick Charles again. Slick Charles is like, what the? How are you? You're alive right now? How are you alive? You just rose from the dead and you want money? You came here yesterday and got your money. How are you alive right now? So he's freaking out. Fontaine doesn't believe him and they end up calling Yo-Yo in, and Yo-Yo confirms like, I think I remember walking past you in the parking lot and I heard gunshots. I didn't see you get shot, but then I saw the getaway car. And so they kind of all team up. The trio teams up and they play detective, like the Hardy Boys. Who's the girl that, I don't know, some kind of mystery series with a girl, Nancy Drew. Oh boy. So Yo-Yo is like a big fan of Nancy Drew. And so they end up following some leads. They were like, I think I know where that car is parked or where it belongs to. And then he ends up seeing this SUV that he saw earlier in the day when he saw there was like just a guy walking down the street with like a gunshot wound or looked like he was bleeding and stumbling down the street, and a black SUV speeds up, screeches, picks up the dude and takes off. He's like, that's weird. So then he sees that same SUV hanging out outside this house. They strap up, right? They arm themselves. They bust into the house. It's pretty empty, but it looks like there's a break room. It looks like there's some kind of like a trap house. Like they said, it looks like a trap house. Then they discover this door, and the door is an elevator, and they take the elevator down to find a laboratory with what they call a light-skinned black dude, because like afro, but like looks white but has an afro that you would see normally on an African American, right? And so they try to question this dude, but they are also messing around with this white powder. They take the white powder and it makes them to start to giggle. And so as like Jamie Foxx is trying to interrogate this guy, he's also giggling. And then Yo-Yo is trying to do something in the background with the beakers and drops one, and that causes Slick Charles to pop a cap in the light-skinned brother. So he kills him by accident. But then that's when they discover there's a body on a slab with a sheet over it. And that's when Fontaine pulls it back and sees, oh, it's me with the bullet wounds in me. So we're not in a Groundhog Day situation, even though it is it's almost like a video game with NPCs, or like Westworld, where it's like, okay, reset back to 1. We're going to do the same things over again. That's what it felt like for a long time there. So they follow a bunch of clues and leads. Like they go to get some a meal at Goddamn Chicken, which I love that. I love that commercial. Goddamn Chicken. So they go there and they start to eat, and they start to laugh, and they start to look around. So they see that like everyone else is laughing, and they're like, what is going on here? And then you see like there's a hair salon where you see commercials for perm cream or whatever, some kind of perm cream. They go to the hair salon, and like this woman is complaining about all the wrongs that have been happening against her. You know, basically the system fucking her over. And then the salon, what do you call that person? Hairstylist, I guess, hairdresser, applies the perm cream, and she kind of like calms down and is like, but it's all good. I'm just tripping. And it's just like, oh, okay. So there's something funky going on with the chicken. There's something going on with the perm cream. And that's when you start to find out that they put it together that there's something very sinister going on, where like these products are containing things to either control them or to dissuade them from questioning their existence or questioning what's going on in the neighborhood. So they end up going down into the facility and dressing up in disguises. They access the facility through a church, because they were able to come across they were able to secure a key card. I think they got the key card from the manager of the Goddamn Chicken, who was also like had an afro but white skin. And then there was another part where like the liquor store clerk also has an afro with white skin. But so they access the underground facility, the lab, through the church. And then that's when they throw on the disguises, right? The hazmat suits, so you can't see who they are. And then they go and they discover like this whole warehouse room of clones. You know, it's just like a bunch of Fontaines, bunch of Slick Charles, but no yo-yos. So they end up going exiting the facility through another exit point, which was set up in the back of the backstage locker room of a strip club. And while they were down in the facility, they see all these they see that the perm cream is being applied, the chicken's being eaten, but also there are like sayings or phrases and music that these scientists are playing to control how the people act, the subjects act. So like they play a fight song, they fight, they play like a song about hugging, they hug. So they exit through the strip club, but the DJ, who again, Afro, white skin, gets a message like stop them, don't let them leave. And so he puts on this song where everyone basically is under mind control. And so the trio, Yo-Yo, Fontaine, and Slick Charles, make a break for it, and they're running away, and they get in the car, and you see like this is one of the scarier moments where like they're like, don't let them get away or something like that, and you just see as they're driving away, there's just like a mob of people running after them, and the car breaks down. And I thought that was when stuff was going to get out of control, but then all of a sudden they stop and they back off, but you can still tell that like they're still not themselves. And that's when friggin' Kiefer Sutherland shows up with a dude that looks like Fontaine, but in like a Fontaine if he were a chauffeur, a limo driver, just like in a suit. And this is the explanation that I was hard to wrap my head around, but Kiefer Sutherland says that scientists like him conduct experiments on impoverished, predominantly black populations, including the Glen, to allow the operation to go unnoticed and supposedly achieve peace in America. He reveals that Fontaine and Slick are clones themselves, and to demonstrate that he's telling the truth, he uses a deadly trigger word, I think it was Olympia Black, to get them to threaten others against their will, but also almost kill themselves. You know, like Fontaine is like, all right, shoot her. So he's like shaking, but he's pointing the gun at Yo-Yo, and he's like, all right, now shoot yourself, and he like puts the gun in his mouth. So he stops it before it gets any worse, but he's like, all right, I think I sufficiently scare them. That's enough of that. Like, you're not gonna be able to get out of this. This is bigger than you are. You're not gonna be able to take this down. Like, we control you, and the reason why you live or you're replaced is because you keep this place dangerous. And if we can keep this place dangerous, then the white people, the richer white people, won't come in and gentrify the area, and they won't find out about what we're doing here. So that's when Fontaine kind of goes back into his old routine, but then he discovers that he's like, wait, my mom said that before, you know, like I asked her a question and she said the same thing before, and it sounded the same way. So he busts into the door of his mom's room and he sees just a recorder on a table. That's his mom, just a recording on a table. And so that's when he kind of he goes outside to try and process things, and the little guy shows up from before that he gave a ride to, that was in the car when he hit the rival drug dealer. And he's like, you look a lot like my brother. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess. So that kind of lightens him up. But then Yo-Yo, so Fontaine's like kind of just accepted it. He's like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing, like, it is what it is. And Yo-Yo is like, no, I'm not settling like that. That's not who I am. You know, I want to work at the New York Times or something like that. And so she gathers all this evidence and tries to mail it out. And then she ends up getting captured and abducted. And that's when Slick Charles and Fontaine team up, and they come up with a plan like, hey, you're not going to like it, but here's what we need to do. So Fontaine fakes his death. And that to me is a little bit of a plot hole, you know, like, come on now. It's a little bit of a plot hole that like you can get shot and just lay there. They're not going to check your pulse. They're going to just zip you up, take you down, and just let you sit there on a slab. Like, they're not going to do a little more due diligence than that. Come on. So that was a bit of a plot hole, I thought. And while Fontaine's doing his thing, Yo-Yo, they try to apply the perm cream to her, but and so she acts like it's working, And then they let down her guard, and that's when she takes off the wig. She'd been wearing a wig, which she denied earlier in the movie. I thought it was funny. And that's when Slick Charles gathers the people. So you see that they go back to when the plan was initially being hatched, and it's like basically Fontaine has to convince the rival drug dealer that he needs to shoot him and say this line to make it look real. And then once they take him away, to gather his troops, gather as many people as he can, and then we're going to infiltrate the laboratory and take it over. So the big reveal, which I don't hate. I thought that was an interesting twist. So spoiler alert, Fontaine is captured. He's brought to kind of into this room by Chester, who's the dude who looks like Fontaine, but in a suit. And we find out that there's a scientist, and it kind of looks like an older version of Fontaine, but like hard to tell. And then that's when we find out that that's like the OG Fontaine. That's the older Fontaine, the original Fontaine, who offered his services as a, I guess, biogenetic scientist, right? To participate in this program whereby they clone black people and try to turn them into white people, essentially, through DNA manipulation. Like what I didn't understand is like, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. And why is he trying to turn black people into white people? Because the Fontaine clone has a lot of the original Fontaine's memories, but not all of them. And he withheld a lot of what really happened around his little brother's death when he got shot by the police. He says that he describes the details of the incident, saying like, I found him, I took him to the ER, and if they had come to treat him in a decent amount of time, in the right amount of time, and the amount of time that they could have, he would have lived, he would have survived. But because he's black, they didn't value his life, and so they let precious time, minutes go by, and by the time they actually like went to treat him, he had passed. So it's like if he were white, they would have treated him earlier and he would have survived. And that was the motivation behind him deciding to do this just over the top, extreme, absurd program, to turn black people into white people. And the country would be better with assimilation than annihilation. Assimilation, not annihilation. Pretty tough stuff. But so Fontaine uses the trigger word to get Chester to shoot the original Fontaine, and then that's when they free all the naked clones. They come up out of the facility, and the news is there covering it. And that's another thing where I was like, it doesn't seem like they have. Like, I understand this is a stealth undercover thing, but if the Glen is this contained environment, like a science experiment, how is news like? Why is the news there? But so the news is covering it, and so that's when everyone starts. The word gets out that these are clones, or that they don't know that they're clones. They're just naked people, like spilling out, and exposes the secret operation. So they decide to team up and head to Memphis to stop the operation. Then you cut to a guy who looks like Fontaine, but has a different, like, he's braided as opposed to the kind of pineapple look he had going before. He's now got the braids, the tight braids. He goes to talk to his mama. It's just a recording. It's just the voice behind the door. So it's kind of like different environment, different house, but same routine. The liquor store, the 40, the old man outside the liquor store pouring it out, the losing the lottery, cigarillos, all that stuff that Fontaine was doing. This guy who looks like Fontaine is doing the same thing, but you see that he's in Los Angeles. And so he's at his house on the couch with his buddies, smoking up, drinking, and they're watching the news. And that's when the more clones come out in Los Angeles that the news is covering. And that's when the reporter turns to a Fontaine clone, and then they're all looking and they're going, whoa, that looks just like you, Tyrone. And so that's where the title of the movie comes in. They cloned Tyrone. So yeah, I like this movie a lot. I mean, there are some obvious plot holes, but I think the critics liked it too. It's got 92% of critics gave it a favorable score with an average rating of 7.4 out of 10. Consensus reads, They Cloned Tyrone is provocative, clever sci-fi with an exceptional cast. Metacritic assigned the film a score of 75 out of 100. And yeah, I agree. I would put it closer to 8. I think I did give it an 8 out of 10. I could be wrong. No, that was quarterback. So I think I would give it 7.5 to 8. If I had to round it up, I'd give it an 8. It's that good. I do. It's in the vein of Sorry to Bother You, which I thought was a cool way to look at things. Also sci-fi and absurdist. So it's praised for sleek direction, savvy score, reliably funny cast performances, which I highly agree. Jamie Foxx was awesome. Boyega was awesome. The actress who played Yo-Yo is great. Stylish, laugh out loud blast that has something to say but doesn't sacrifice enjoyment to do so. While it may exhibit moments of unevenness, They Cloned Tyrone still makes for an entertaining ride with the potential to become a cult favorite. I totally agree with that. You know, like Sorry to Bother You, I saw that 4 years ago. I still think about that like once a week. Just insane. So yeah, I wonder if this is like the same universe type of thing, if that's possible. Genre bending social satire, infectious chemistry. I don't know. Good setup. Too sketchy and conceptual to work as a bad dream thriller. I don't know about that. So yeah, that's a big recommend. All right, we're not going to be able to get to TV, Mets, or Giants. So my deepest, sincerest apologies, but it's late and this old ass got a slumber. So we'll cover that the next episode. You know, I finished Arnold. We'll go over that. We'll do a review of that. Quarterback, which I highly recommend on Netflix, a docuseries from Peyton Manning and Patrick Mahomes. And then It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It was only 8 episodes, so it felt short, but man, did it pack a punch. Probably one of the better seasons in a long, long time. The trade deadline is coming up for the Mets, so I might be able to talk about that next episode. But there are 5 Mets losses that really define the season, you know, with how they lost. So I hope to get into that next episode. And then Saquon signed his franchise tag. What the hell happened? One of the most confusing negotiations, back and forth signings in Giants history, I want to say. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. So maybe next episode we'll get into that. But for now, hey, do yourself a favor. Treat yourself right. Okay? Even if you are a clone. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll talk to you next episode. Adios, muchachos.